Hey family, welcome to the video. I'm always waiting to make sure that this live is uploaded before I start talking. But welcome to the video. Hope you are having an amazing day. Hope you are doing the things necessary to stay safe and also to continuously develop the inner workings of the mind. I wanted to make this video today to really help people understand the how the structure of the mind works and how to get results. If you are into the metaphysics, holistic, teachings, you into magic, you into trying to understand the energy, your aura. If you're somebody who's trying to develop yourself, then this video right here will really assist you on your journey. And I want to talk about today the inner workings of the mind and how, you know, the energy itself. How do we utilize this force? How do we really gain the momentum to get a result? And what do we need to do? Um, and the key thing is that the mind is the office. Before I talk about the office, I want to talk about this one thing that you probably, if you watch my videos, I always said everything is energy first. So in order to get a result on anything that you do, you have to be able to view the world that everything is energy first, then it's physical second. That saying right there may not have a direct connection to you at this moment, but as you advance on your spiritual journey, your journey of magic and evolution, you'll realize that the statement I just said carries a lot of weight. So in order to be able to achieve those goals that you have inside your mind and bring them into the external world, you have to be able to utilize energy, but you have to understand the balance and how you pertain to that. And let's start with the mind. So the mind is the office, the translator of energy. Its job is to translate. Just like if someone asks you a question about something that at the particular second you didn't answer, right? But based off of your knowledge that you accumulated over the years, once you thought about it and you think about it, you're like, oh, based off of what you just said, this is the answer to that. So this is exactly how the mind works, which is why I'm calling it the office, because the office will be the place that's able to break down this information, help you utilize it, but also be able to think through it. How do it feel? How do I perceive it? Why did I feel this way? Why did I react that way? So it's the place where when you're utilizing energy, you want to understand how to work. I just made a video that I put on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, and it's how to do mind reading. And in that video, I talked a lot about how to develop the office, how to develop the mind, and be able to read thoughts of other people. This is not that video right here, so check out my YouTube channel. It's at Gary Van Nelson on YouTube, and you can find the video there. But back to the video here is that the office is able to dissect information for you, be able to translate information to you, and be able to give you the necessary skill to understand why do I feel this way, how do I need to make these changes, and how can I execute these forces to be able to utilize them into my external world. So when you utilize an energy, you want to be able to understand how do you bring in energy, how do you begin to feel energy, and how to feel for the body. When most people talk about feeling energy, utilizing energy, it's like, what is energy? And energy, in the terminology of how we perceive the word energy, most people may say, if you eat food, you get energy. Working out gives you energy, and doing certain things to stimulate the mind increase energy. But I'm talking about magical energy, okay? I'm talking about the magical essence of energy. And the magical essence of energy is being able to bring this energy in, recognize it, understand what it is. So if you're somebody into the metaphysics, somebody who's working with energy, then this is what you need to do. You got to be able to block off the external world, because the external world is our thoughts, our ideas, the different things in our life that really cause this imbalance inside of us. And the imbalance that I'm saying is that you are so focused on the external world and the problems in the external world that you begin to overlook and not look deeper into this feeling that energy is actually bringing. So the feeling that energy bring is different for all of us. Some people can actually feel energy as heat on their body, and some people can actually feel energy as movement. So it all depends on how your office, the mind, is translating energy to you, and the translation is different for each of us. So I want to kind of bring that point into into the conversation now, that when you start utilizing energy, it's going to feel different in you. It's going to feel. Some people actually brings in energy, and it makes them feel more vibrant. They feel more energetic. They feel not as tired. I remember many years ago, I was doing some energy work, and I built up so much energy within this hour that I didn't have to sleep for like almost 2 days. And why was that? Because my body took that energy as a source of fuel that actually was able to stabilize me, where I didn't have to sleep. Now, I did go to sleep, about 2 days later, but I slept. I didn't sleep that deep sleep like you're so tired that you go into a deep sleep. I slept and I felt good. I think I slept for like 5 or 6 hours, and I was back balanced again. So energy is going to be different for each of us. But to utilize this energy means to begin to understand how it works inside your mind, how it's translating across into your office. So what you want to do first of all is begin to find a place where you can sit and relax. Now you probably heard about this, a million times. Meditation, self-reflection of, meditation and being able to still the mind, quiet the mind. Meditation over time leads you into concentration. So the thing about this is that at some point you'll cross into concentration and not really realize it until you notice the attention of it. It's like that shift of awareness. It's almost like you're driving in your car and you're doing 50 miles an hour. You're doing 80 miles an hour. If you pick up the 200 miles an hour, you'll feel the shift. And maybe you shouldn't nobody be doing 200 miles an hour, but maybe 120 miles an hour. You're going to feel the shift. You're going to feel that change in energy. That shift is going to be, you go from meditation and it leads you into concentration. And concentration is the place where you're able to absorb energy. You're able to absorb things. You ever heard about people that's able to do spectacular things, able to appear to be lucky? They're able to absorb something. So that meditation leads them into concentration. So first off, before we even talk about concentration, let's talk about meditation. I don't want to put the cart before the horse. So the meditation is about sitting there, being able to relax, being able to become engulfed into just sitting there and doing nothing. Most time in our everyday life, we become so bombarded with doing something, preparing for something, that we always one step ahead of something before we even do the first thing. So being able to sit there, find a place of peace, and being able to relax and say, you know what, I'm just going to meditate. I'm going to meditate, and I'm going to feel the peace of silence. Before you begin to feel energy, you got to understand how you feel. And that's what most people miss. When they start this magical journey, this metaphysical journey, they wanted the McDonald's, the Burger King. I want it right now, and I want it yesterday morning. And it don't work that way right there. What you're going to do is the consistency approach, is that how do I feel right now? I want to be able to still my mind. I want to be able to relax my mind. And when I say still the mind, it means being able to just focus on breathing. In the beginning, once you focus on your breathing, you simply sit there and you breathe in, you breathing out, you breathing in, you breathing out. Now, it may seem so simple. You're like, is that really working? Yes, it works, because you putting so energy is attention. So say it with me now. Energy is attention. So whatever you put your attention on, that's to develop an energy that you begin to build. So you're putting your attention on just simply breathing. And it means finding a comfortable chair. If you can sit in a lotus position, by all means, that's fine. But I don't do a lotus position because it's a little too much for me. But lotus position, or you just sit in a straight back chair, put your hands on your lap and your feet on the floor, and you simply breathe in. Become aware of breathing. Become aware of just relaxing yourself. That's all you want to do. And it might take you a week, may take you 2 weeks, may take you 2 days, may take you 3 days. But you want to begin to build this peace, this balance. Now, once you learn how to relax your body, and when I say relax your body, it feels that the body is almost in a sleep state, but your attention, your awareness is awakened. It's awoke. And this place right here, for most people, will feel different. For me, the first time it happened, it felt like I was in a big warehouse, an empty warehouse, and I'm sitting in the middle of the floor. I just seem so small compared to my surroundings. For some people, it's different. Some people, it may feel like that you are somewhere that's unfamiliar, but it feels peaceful. You don't feel like that you're outside of an element of fear of anything like that. So for each person, it's going to feel different, but get used to that place right there. That's the place where you're going to work from. In the beginning, you're just focusing on your breathing, but as time go on, when you get into the concentration factor, you're not focusing on breathing at all. You just become aware of just being. And in the beginning, it's focused on your breathing because you got to have a focal point. A focal point, if you ever hear somebody say this in spiritual terminology, is that a focal point could be your nose. It can be just focusing on breathing, the air going in, the air coming out. You can focus on your third eye chakra. So a focal point is where you want to begin, just to train the mind to be able to focus on one thing. So you're not going to be worrying about what I'm going to eat for dinner, what I should have took out for lunch, where my kids going tomorrow after daycare. All those things right there is so many thoughts going out. So utilizing, you pushing energy everywhere. So focal point, get your focal point. Focus on either your tip of your nose, the breath going in, the third eye chakra, or just simply focus on maybe a dot in your imagination. Focus on a dot, but you're going to build up this momentum right here. And once you do that right there, you're going to begin to build an awareness. So our awareness is not just inside of our mind. Our awareness can be outside of the body at any given moment. Now, through your operation of meditation, you're going to notice that when you're meditating, sometimes you're going to feel that you are here, you're there, you're inside your body. You may actually see yourself in the scene of early part in the day. You may actually feel that you're talking to somebody. Certain smell may cross your nose. So what happen is these are thoughts. These are thought forms, and these thought forms right here usually pass through our minds throughout the day. And most time we think it's our thoughts, but a lot of time it be other people's thoughts. We just pick up this radio wave of picking up other people's thoughts. But what you want to do is learn how to minimize these thought forms, minimize these thoughts that's crossing through your mind. But once you get control of these thoughts by meditating every single day and beginning to understand who you are, you'll begin to realize what thoughts you're thinking and what thoughts is someone else's thoughts that have been afflicted upon you. Okay? And when I say afflicted upon you, a lot of times in our life, we go through emotional turmoil, not from our own thoughts, but we picking up other people's thoughts, and we don't know why we feel that way. But if you don't understand yourself, you don't know what's yours and what's somebody else. So once you become really engulfed into the meditation, it's going to lead you into a form of concentration. And then therefore you begin to understand the awareness. Now, just because you begin to understand this awareness and feel this awareness doesn't mean you should just follow every thought, because you're going to be happy. Trust me. You may get a flashback of you early that day driving in the car. You may get a flash of something in the future. You may get a flash of a question that you was asking, and then the internal part of you reflected and give it to you. Now, these things right here can lead you astray. And the reason why I say this right here is that the moment you begin to utilize something that you haven't had before, it's like a kid in a candy store. You start reaching for everything. You're like, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. And then what happened is you begin to lose the reason of why you started. So when these thoughts pop up, when this awareness starts shifting around, focus on your breath. Focus on your breath. I mean, if you notice these thoughts, these ideas, these things beginning to cross your path, go back to your breath, because you're not ready to move into concentration yet. Now, if you master, or when you do master meditation into concentration, you could begin to pull up ideas. You could begin to pull up thoughts of things that you want. And this is what you call mastering the mind. So once you begin to master the mind, you can begin to mold it in a direction that you want to focus on, not how the mind wants you to focus on it. So in time, the whole thing about what we do regarding energy and developing the mind, it's time. It's time and effort. Say it with me, time and effort will yield a result. And the thing about it is, You might mess up on pieces here, you might mess up on pieces there. It's just like when you got certified in something. It's just like when you learned something. You wasn't a professional right that day. You didn't become like, oh, since I learned this today, I'm a professional. That's not how it worked. And if that's the result that you're looking for, you'll be sadly mistaken because you won't get there the way that you think you're going to get there. But if you consistently do this every single day, build the foundation every single day, be consistent every single day, eventually it will yield a result. So be consistent about your energy work. Be consistent about your ideas. Be consistent about mapping out your time you're going to meditate. Be consistent about watching the way that you think. Be consistent about realizing that, wait a second, I didn't think of this. It's like, you start thinking about being hungry. You'd be like, wait a second, why am I hungry? You could be picking up on somebody else's thought. I made a video about this, how to read minds, on my YouTube channel. Check it out, because a lot of our thoughts is just not our thoughts. We're picking up on different people, but you want to learn how to control your inner world, so therefore you have the power and the structure to pick up on these things when you want to. You don't want them to overshadow you, because trust me, if you let them overshadow you, it brings emotional turmoil in your life. So I hope you like this video right here. Let me know in the comment section what you're doing to develop your energy, and what steps have you taken from this video that you can implement into your everyday activity of building your energy. And let me know what else you want me to talk about, and I'll be sure to make a video. And I look forward to talking to y'all later. Peace and blessings.